Alright guys, here we got another video to do. Here is my 1985 Chevrolet Celebrity with the 2.8 V6 2-barrel carb. Now this video may be just a little bit different than yours. Basically it's about the same of how to replace the sensor. I'm going to be replacing my coolant temperature sensor. First of all, here is the sensor. Got it from AutoZone ValueCraft. Part number is, let's see here, SU109VC. Here's the sensor. It's ValueCraft. Now the other one that's a little bit higher than this one's $18. Has like Loctite or something like that on the threads. I'm going to take some thread stuff and put it on here, and we'll fix it up so it doesn't leak. Anyways, to do this job, you're going to have to remove the air cleaner right here. Whole air cleaner is going to come off the hose. The sensor is located right underneath there. It's kind of really hard to see. Well, actually, right there it is. If you see those two little wires right there, yeah, right there, that's the sensor. So, and I do have a little bit of oil leak, so don't freak out. That's what that stuff is, splattered all over the hose. So I got to get down to there. Alright, so first thing to do is get that air cleaner off. So I'm going to go ahead and get the tools out. Okay, there we go. Now we can see. One thing I love about this car is you can take the hood rod and lay it down and push the hood all the way straight up, and it stays up the whole time. It's not going nowhere. It gives me a lot of room so I can get back here to whatever I need. Vacuum lines, connectors, whatever, spark plugs. Alright, so to take this air cleaner off, now yours probably won't have this, but this is a 5/16 or a flathead screwdriver would take this off. Just to hold the hose on so my hose don't come off. That's off. Alright, so okay, so we're going to take this hose off that goes to the carburetor for heat. It's there's a certain name for it. Anyways, take the center nut off. Okay, and my air filter stuck to it. Set that aside. Okay, so the air cleaner's loose. You got two vacuum lines here, and I number them 1 and 2 so I know which one goes to where. There's a hose back here. Pop that off. Only thing you got to worry about is when you take this off, make sure you don't bend this. This is a $10 hose. And then you've got a little small vacuum hose right here that goes for the breather for the air PCV valve, part of the PCV valve recirculation for admissions. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down. I'll get that off and we'll go from there. Okay, so now we got the air cleaner out of the way. Now like I said, I will say it again, your vehicle may be different. This is the same 2.8 as Chevy S10, maybe just a little bit different the way the carburetor's set up and the distributor and all that. Let's see, what else? Chevrolet Beretta, Chevrolet Cavalier with the 2.8, Buick Century. There's a lot of them out there. Pontiac 6000, maybe just a little bit different, but it is the same. Okay, so there's a vacuum hose here. You take that off, get that out of the way. There is a 10mm right here. You take that off, move the sensor out of the way. It's my EGR boost sensor. Move that out of the way so we can get a hold of this coolant temperature sensor right there. So let's go ahead and get a 10mm. Okay, so what I use is a 1/4 inch socket with a 10mm and a 3-inch extension. Make sure you don't lose the nut. Okay, well, I dropped the bolt. No problem. Here is my magnet with a flashlight. Really cool tool to have. extends out pretty far, and it swivels on the end. Go down here. Right there she is. Oh, can't get in there. Okay, alright, without all that fussing and fighting and kind of almost breaking the connectors, this car is around 35 years old. All this stuff really breaks. You got to be careful with these connectors. I really don't believe mine was even plugged in right, because my connector pieces inside here are broke. Yeah, there was oil everywhere. The seal for the distributor is brand new, so I know it's not leaking from there. I replaced it myself because I had a leak, and I don't know where this fluid is coming from down in here. I know it's not from there. It's not, which I don't think it would be. It might be the intake manifold needs to be changed. I'm not sure. We are replacing this sensor right here. This is a cooling fan switch. I'm changing that as well. Done removed the connector, and we're replacing the cooling, the temperature sensor right here. So what takes this one out is a 3/8 drive, 19 millimeter socket. She's on there good. Set it down. Boy, you can't budge that one. Okay, well I finally got her broke loose with my long 3/8 extension ratchet. I got this at Walmart for about 20 bucks. This is Stanley. It does have a swivel head on it. It moves back and forth. It's really cool. But anyways, I broke it loose. Go ahead and take it the rest of the way out. Coolant may come out, which it's going to, so don't freak out. Yeah, there's some coolant right now coming out. Be careful about dirt, stuff like that. Wow, there's a lot of coolant. Yeah. Alright. So, here's the old sensor, and here's the new sensor. Looks like they used nothing. But I'm going to put some thread tape on there, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we covered it in Teflon tape. Put it back in. Should go back in as okay, so it's back in its place. It's tightened down. It's snug. Shouldn't be going anywhere. I just keep an eye on it for a couple days. Just make sure, you know, there's not leaking nowhere. I am going to dry some of this up so I can tell if it's going to start leaking. It shouldn't with the Teflon tape on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this switch out right here for the cooling fan, and we're going to replace it. And to take that out, you're going to need a 21 millimeter socket, deep socket, like this, with extension and ratchet. Fit right down on there. Take her right out. Should come right out. Alright guys, we got her out. Here's the old one, there's the new one. It does have some type of thread sealant on it, so I'm not going to put any Teflon tape on it. It should be fine. So we'll go ahead and put it back in its place, tighten her down, snug, put the connector back on, put everything back together, and go from there. Putting her in. Make sure it's good and snug. You don't want any leaks. Alright, she's in there. Let's go ahead and put her connector back on. This is the connector. Now originally on this car, this is what it's supposed to have. The mechanic that used to work on this car for our little old lady that had it, which was my grandma. The car had overheated at one time, I believe, really bad. I guess the fan wasn't working or something like that because one of these sensors was bad or something, and he just, you know, said, you know what, I'll just take this and ground it, which was grounded right here on the thermostat housing. And so every time I would turn on the key, the fan, radiator fan would come on every single time. Couldn't figure out why until finally I did a wiring diagram and traced everything and found out this connector was gone, which goes to that sensor right there, because that's what controls the fan coming on and turning off. So I spliced it back into the wiring, connected it back on, and now I have no fan at all. So, replace that, replace the sensor. I still have another sensor to replace. I'm not exactly sure where it's supposed to be at, but I am gonna find it. It's a temperature switch, cooling temperature switch. This is a coolant temperature sensor, not a switch. I believe the switch is way back here. Way back here where that little connector is, right here. Right there. Right there's the little guy. It's kind of hard to see because of where it's at. Right there she is. So it's just one little prong connector. I already have the sensor. Sensor went about $8, $8 or $9 at AutoZone. The cooling fan switch was about $8 and something, and this one was $13. And there is the relay. I replaced the relay already. I know the relay works because if you ground this, where'd it go? If you ground this to say here with the key on, the fan will come on, so I know the relay's good. But anyways, let me go ahead and plug it all back together. And while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this EGR boost sensor. It's wobbly, it's broke, the plastic's no good, it probably don't even work anymore. Here of a bag of parts for this car. Every single relay, vacuum hose, sensor, everything. I've got it all. So go ahead and find the sensor, which is this little bad boy right here. This one's not broke. It doesn't wobble or move or nothing like that, so that's good. I'm going to take this one off, put it in that place, and we'll put everything back together. Start the car up, see how she runs. Alright guys, I know it's kind of a short video. I didn't really go through and actually start the vehicle. I've got some other things I got to deal with, connectors and things. But that is basically how you change your coolant temperature sensor and your cooling fan switch for the cooling fan to kick on and kick off. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments at all, leave them in the bottom and I'll try my best to get to them. And if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And hit that little bell so you'll get my notifications every time a new video comes out. I make how-to videos just about every other week, whenever possible. Thanks for watching. Have a great day or night, wherever you are. Thanks, and stay tuned. There will be another video coming out real soon of how to change the fuel pump on this vehicle. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.